Next tonight, leading food retailers in Jersey have blamed the change in ferry operator for a hike in their prices. Sandpiper and the cooperatives say higher freight costs since DFDS started serving the island mean the price of their products has risen.
And whilst the claims have been rejected by both the ferry company and Jersey's economic minister, the Consumer Council says customers are already feeling the impact. Bartholomew Hall reports.
When heading to the supermarket for your weekly shop, it's easy to notice when the price of your regular items have gone up.
Bread, milk,
meat, fish, really.
Meat, fish, anything that's edible.
The chocolates and the advent calendars have gone up.
See, I have memory of a dozen eggs being less than £1, and it's getting on for more like £3 now. So,
Coffee for one.
The boss of M&S on the island says a strong driver of price rises in Jersey is the increased cost of shipping ever since the new DFDS freight deal came into effect.
I saw an increase of 5.8% in freight costs, and the government's figure was stated at 0.4% increase on retail sales. That does not translate to 5.8%. All increases have to be paid for. You know, I don't have a magic wand. So prices have risen already as a result of those increases we're seeing coming through. And if we see further increases coming from port dues, prices will rise further.
And the boss of Channel Islands Co-op agrees, saying to suggest that freight costs only contribute to a small increase in food pricing is both unfair and misleading. Although Jersey's economic minister Kirsten Morale has defended his prediction that prices would only go up 0.4%.
The figure of 0.4 was the increase on the cost of a basket of goods on the shelf. That's not the same as how much it increases the cost to his company. And beating down the price of freight all the time just makes the ferry service uninvestable.
And DFDS has weighed in too, saying much the same. Boss Chris Parker wrote independent analysis shows the effect on grocery prices is minimal when compared with the majority of retail expenses. But how much do the prices on the shelves compare to Jersey's neighbour where DFDS doesn't operate? We've been looking at two independent supermarket price comparison websites of both Jersey and Guernsey. And although the data sets have a difference of around 2 weeks, we consistently found that prices for your everyday goods were more expensive in Jersey than in Guernsey. For example, take this 4-pack of toilet paper, £2.20 in Guernsey, £2.40 here. And that 20p rise represents more than the 5% difference GST would add in Jersey. Regardless of who's to blame though, retail experts say customers shouldn't be paying the price.
We were promised that the flat rate of freight would bring down prices. We yet to see that, any evidence of that. But in the meantime, we need retailers, government, ferry firms, get round the table rather than blame each other, think about the consumer and come up with a better solution.
So with scrutiny continuing to stack up, it's clear the start of this tenure hasn't been smooth sailing so far.
Well, Bartholomew is live for us in St Helier tonight, and this all comes after a lot of intense scrutiny of DFDS and Jersey States in the last few months.
Well, we've all heard of the honeymoon phase, Alex, but this has been more like moving in with the in-laws. It's not been a comfortable first few months for all those concerned with what comes through the port here in St Helier. Both industry and government would agree that there have been some teething issues, from fast ferry routes being cancelled over the winter months to administration errors that meant thousands of pounds of missed out port dues had to be retrospectively charged to operators. And now, of course, strong words from retail bosses who blame the new service for increases in prices at the shops. And Kirsten Morale has said that any price increases for retailers to ship their goods to the island simply mean that DFDS can have a service that can be invested in and therefore protected for years to come. Well, the next thing to look out for, the all-important redacted contract that Jersey signed with DFDS, where exactly what was negotiated will be made public. Kirsten Morale said a few weeks ago this would be released in due course. He says there's nothing interesting to see in it, but industry are calling for the transparency nonetheless.